Kelly's Kitchen. Let me teach you a recipe and also make you feel really good about yourself.
Hey there, everyone, and welcome to Kelly's Jazz Lounge. Today we are listening to this really weird song. Yeah, this is Kelly's Kitchen, episode 6. Hi. I don't know what this music is, but I decided to get in the Halloween spirit, and I found a playlist on Spotify, which I live by, and
You're a regular dread of the night.
something sexy's going on. But despite that, welcome to Kelly's Kitchen, episode 6. I am in the Halloween spirit because Halloween is coming up. So I thought today we would make something pretty festive and nice for fall. So we're going to make my creamy sweet potato harvest soup. This is a recipe I literally just came up with last weekend, and it's gotten good reviews, so I'm excited. And the topic we will be talking about today is magic and why I believe in it. What we will need for this recipe is 1 medium-sized sweet potato, 1 medium-sized red onion, 1 yellow bell pepper, and 2 scallion bulbs chopped. We will also need some vegetable broth. I tried this for the first time when I first experimented with this. It's garden vegetable broth by College Inn. Pretty good stuff. And also some coconut milk. So let's get started. This song right now is literally called Be True to Your Goal instead of Be True to Your School. That's amazing. So first we are going to cut up our sweet potato. You're going to kind of cut it into rings. And as you can see, I have a bigger cutting board this time. Then we are going to cut our sweet potato pieces into chunks. Once down the middle, and once on the other side. Alright, so once our sweet potato is cut up, we're going to keep our little chunks to the side. Then we are going to chop up half of a red onion. So when you chop up your onion, you're going to want to cut it in half and then cut it into rings. So just kind of go down through it this way. Okay, so once you are done cutting up your onion, put it to the side with your sweet potato, and we're going to move on to our yellow pepper. I like yellow because it really brings a nice festive color to the dish. So cut the top off, and kind of like cut along the sides, and then when you see all these seeds in here, you're just going to rip them right out. The Monster Mash has to be the most fun Halloween song there is. There better be some freaking Rocky Horror on this playlist. If there's not, I am going to be disappointed, Spotify. I used to love Halloween as a kid. I don't know about you guys, but I was one of those kids that Halloween was kind of like all year long for me because I was always playing dress up constantly, so it was just more of an excuse to dress up and be a weirdo. Oh man. Getting really into it over there, Dracula. Oh my god. Violent. But, yeah, I think I must have been a unicorn for Halloween maybe like 3 times in a row. Alright, so once our pepper is cut up, look how colorful it is! We're going to move on to last but not least, cutting up our scallions and adding some nice green to the dish. Now the thing I like about this soup is that it's just great for the fall season in general. I wanted to do something comforting, but still healthy. Coconut milk is going to be the main ingredient, giving it the creaminess that we want. And trust me, it does just fine. I use coconut milk as substitution for cheeses, all kinds of dairy. Most milk in my recipes, actually, I use coconut milk for. Alright, so everything is cut up. Look at all these beautiful veggies, and we are ready to prepare our soup. How super easy. Alright, let's go. So moving on to assembling our soup. So get a medium-sized pot, put it right on the stove, and get your broth. Make sure you shake it up a little bit before you pour it in. And just pour that directly in there, the whole box. We're making about probably 4 servings of this. So then what we're going to do is we are going to add our scallions, pepper, and onion, but not our sweet potatoes yet, because they cook up a lot faster. So turn your broth on about medium-high heat, so a 6. And we're just going to put all of our scallions and peppers and red onion right in there. In terms of the spices, we are going to put in 1 teaspoon of curry powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now the first time I made this, I did a half a teaspoon. It was hot, so I suggest a 1/4 teaspoon, but if you do like things really spicy, don't be afraid to do a half. Then we're going to do a little less than a half a teaspoon of black pepper. So like that amount, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so stir it up and put the lid on. And we're gonna let that sit on medium heat for 12 minutes. So once your time gets to about 5 minutes, just kind of start stirring the soup a little bit. You'll start noticing your vegetables cook down. The onions are gonna get a little bit soft. And within another 5 minutes, they should be good enough for you to add the sweet potatoes.
Like a
Happy Halloween! I don't know why we're playing like Wild Wild West music right now. Like, why are we? So once our 10 minutes are up, we're gonna take off our lid and add our sweet potatoes because they cook up really fast. So just add them right in on top of our veggies. We're gonna do 1/3 cup of coconut milk right into the soup. And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now I know that sounds weird, but it really does bring the soup together. It makes it very nice for fall. So as you can see with the coconut milk in there, it's going to be sort of this kind of creamy type color. And we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes on medium heat. So let's go have a chat while we wait. We're going to talk about magic. Like this. Oh my god, where'd it go? Ah! This used to be my favorite Halloween decoration when I was a kid. I don't really understand it because it doesn't really surprise you. Like, it would be cooler if it popped up like this and that was the surprise, but apparently the cool thing you do with it is you just kind of make him retreat back into his little home. So, I don't know, I guess that's fun. So, believing in magic, what do I mean by that? I was a very whimsical child. I used to just kind of always have my head in the clouds as a kid, and I kind of just always felt like there was something more to life that I didn't know about. I just kind of always felt like, I guess, if I could escape this world and go to a new one, I probably would do it. I guess that's why I'm trying to be an actress now, because I like going to other realms and I like experiencing what it's like to be other people. In terms of magic, magic is real, and I'm sure of it. So I'm sure now all of you are wanting me to tell you, Kelly, magic's real? Please explain to me the secret of magic. Tell me why it's real. Well, I know all the secrets to the universe, so it totally makes sense you would want to know that. What I mean by magic is real is that magic is simply energy. We actually have the same type of energy within us that's in the stars, in the planets, in plants. We are all living things with energy. When you put a certain energy out into the world, you're gonna get that energy back to you. Kind of the same thing as being positive or negative. If you're a positive person and you choose to live your life with a positive outlook, more positive things are probably going to happen to you. If you tend to live in a negative place and be ruled by negative energy, more negative things are going to happen to you. When I think of magic, I think of our ability to see the world around us and see beneath the surface. I mean, I'm sure all of you have been in nature and have felt very empowered at times. Because as humans, we are naturally drawn to nature. We're animals after all. I can't tell you how many times I feel like I've been saved by the sun and the moon. That sounds crazy, and I don't really like to get religious or political in these videos, but I will get slightly religious. My religion is nature. When I talk about magic, I talk about the ability to see beyond just what reality is. We all can do that because we all have minds that work that way. If you've ever looked at something and felt something inside and you just couldn't explain it, that, in my opinion, is magic. Because that is the connection that you are making to something otherworldly that you can't quite describe. The problem is, a lot of people choose not to believe in magic. A lot of people choose to dismiss it because it sounds crazy. Or if you start to find your mind going into a place that might not sound logical, it's kind of easy to turn it off. It's kind of easy to tell yourself, oh, that's a little bit odd. Maybe I shouldn't let my brain go there. So it's really important to me to believe in that kind of magic. For one example, I was going through a hard time when I first went away to my first college. I was very lost during that time period. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was in a dark place and I was having a lot of trouble believing in myself. And I always felt that I felt rejuvenated and empowered just by being outside, just by feeling the fresh air on my face, feeling the sun on my skin. Because in today's day and age, 2016, we are just getting further and further away from our natural roots. It's not healthy mentally because we're animals and we shouldn't be away from nature. So continuing my story, I was going through a time period where I was really trying to discover myself in all aspects, not even just what I wanted to do. And I took a walk late at night. It was in the middle of the winter. I remember it was cold. I walked up on a hill behind the dorm that I was staying in. And there was a big clear open sky with all these stars, and I just felt like I had to walk up that hill. I stood under a tree, and I remember looking up into the branches, and the way that they were branching out and intertwining with each other, I was just drawn to this tree. Before I got to this spot, I had been crying. I was really, really, really in a dark place. I took a deep breath in, and I just felt the cold against my skin, and I looked up at the sky into the stars, and I just said to myself, please, if there is any higher power out there, whatever it is, can you help me find my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Please send me some kind of sign. And I asked the moon and the starlit sky to send me a sign. And as soon as I asked it, this wind just picked up and the branches started shaking. And the wind just kind of blew against my face, and I just felt rejuvenated. I felt like there was a reason for me to still be there. I felt like I had a renewed sense of purpose. You could say, oh, it's just a coincidence. She's reading too much into it, blah, blah, blah. Even if it was a coincidence, in those situations, I think it's all about how you look at it and how it affects you. If you allow magic, whatever you want to consider it, to affect you, it'll be magic to you. For me, I find magic in connecting with nature, and I find magic in the energies that I find around me. In nature. Nature is important to me. Maybe it's not nature for everyone. Magic is having a belief in something higher than you, a belief in your sense of purpose. I mean the belief that life isn't just what we think it is. There's more to it. There are mysteries that we are still trying to discover, and we don't know what they are yet, and that's what magic is. Simply letting yourself believe, and believing that everything is not always the way that you see it. We all have magic, so don't forget that. And when you feel down, remember, you're magical. Let's go check on our soup. All right, so I think our soup is done. I just took the lid off. Oh, it is perfect. I'll show you what it should look like. Okay, so after it's been sitting for 10 minutes, you're gonna notice all the veggies are nice and cooked. It's this nice kind of orangey color. The sweet potatoes look perfect. And it is done and ready to serve. Okay, so that is it for my sweet potato harvest soup. Here it is, boiling like a cauldron. Very easy to make, great for fall. And I have loved talking about magic with you. There's more to life than you may think. Never stop believing, because we all got that power within us. You just gotta know where to look for it. And sometimes it'll sneak up on you. So feel free to try this recipe. It's really comforting with a bit of a kick. And happy Halloween, guys. I will see you next time on Kelly's Kitchen.